Yesterday I was playing in the dirt. Today I'm going to be playing with mud. Wall mud. I'm going to be taping in texture this wall and get it ready for paint. Okay, so to begin this project we need a few things. First is our joint compound, or also known as mud, drywall mud. And we have some various size spackling or mud knives. The small is great for doing like screw holes. The medium is for if you have a little bit bigger spaces. And the big one is usually best for doing seams where you have two coming together. It'll help smooth them out and make it a little bit more level instead of having like just a divot or a, the small ones are gonna create more of a indent, whereas the big one you're gonna get a little bit smoother. We also have tape, what we call drywall tape. There's different types of tape. This is just like paper tape. When we do the corners and things, we're gonna put some mud in there first, and then we're gonna put the tape, and then we're gonna put mud over top of it. All right, let's get going. First thing I'm gonna do is open up this box of mud here. And this one's in a big box, which is nice. I've got a lot to do, not just this little area. This stuff is wet, and it'll stay wet as long as the plastic, when you're done, put it back over it. So just to start with, I'm just going to show you. I'm going to take a little scoop of this. It's kind of the consistency of mud, kind of gooey, soft dough. Get a little glob on my putty knife here and just kind of go over a few of the nail holes, or screw holes, I should say. I've done this before. I'm not an expert, but what I'm going to try to do here is, you don't want to use a lot. If you use a big glob, then you got more to sand. The best thing is to try to use a little bit, fill in the hole. You want these screw holes to be just below the surface of the drywall. So when you screw the screws in, which will be on a different video if I ever do one, putting up drywall, you screw in your drywall screws, you want it to be just below the surface. So when you can come in, you can just put a little bit of mud on it. I've been out of practice for a while. Usually you can just hit it real quick and you're in good shape. And then this one here, it tells you to let it dry for 24 hours. You can get joint compound that dries quicker, in a few hours, but that one is even easier to sand. But in this case, I'm wanting to use the 24-hour stuff. I've got plenty to do, and I can't see me getting back here sanding this down in the next less than 24 hours. So anyway, another thing is, when you do this, you're gonna probably notice, like as you do this, you probably can't see it from there, but these holes, it fills in, but then it kind of sinks and you get like a little dimple there. Sometimes you can get it on the first try, other times you can't. That's okay. You probably might have to come back and put another layer. Sometimes you get lucky. So we're gonna just fill in these little holes here, and here, I'm gonna get my step stool. Yeah, that one's not working. One thing to keep in mind is, when you do this, the more you have clumps or big chunks of it, that's why I try to just do a little bit, the more you have to sand. And ideally, you don't want to sand a lot. It'd be best not have to sand a lot, because then it creates a lot of dust, which you have to clean up, and also just more time. It takes more time. going to be a little bit more fun. Okay, I'm going to try a small section first with taping. I got to do the corners, but first I'm going to try this little spot right here. And I've got the tape cut because I know I've done it before where I ripped it, you know, to get the right length, and the fuzzy ripped edge does not do well when you're trying to get it mudded. So right about there. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, let's see if we can put some mud here. So I'm going to start first with the skinny, but I'll probably end up going to the bigger one. Just want to put like a thin layer kind of down the side here. And on the other side. I've been out of practice, so it may be a little funky, a little messy. Let's see. Okay, so there's the first bit. Put this tape on here. It does have like a seam in the middle of it. Middle of the tape, you can kind of see there's a, maybe not. See, there's a little seam there. I'm gonna line that up. This. Also, I want to put it, notice how it has a natural curve. I want to put it so it curves on against the wall. If I put it the other way, the chances of it peeling out is there, and I don't want that. Okay, so there's that. Just kind of smooth it out. Right there. Now is where the wider knife is going to come into play. I'm going to use the big knife. Right now I'm just trying to get enough mud on here and covering up the tape. I'll end up smearing it, you know, and spreading it out in a minute. Another little trick is that whichever direction you're going to swipe, you want to put more mud on that side where you start from. So for example, I'm going to put a glob up here, a little glob at the top up here. Okay, and then I'm going to drag it down. You got a bubble right here. So poke a hole with a knife. Maybe I can get the air out of it. Maybe not. That's not good. We will see. That's not looking good. One thing also is, like, if you have a really bad seam, like if you have two pieces coming together and they're not flush, you end up having to put more mud on it, just kind of smooth it out. Not desirable, but it can happen. This is probably one of those seams. Yeah, I really don't like that. I'm gonna see if I can poke a hole in there. Well, this is kind of ugly, but fortunately we can put enough on there and let it smooth and then sand it down. Ugly, but once we let it dry and sand it, then I'll have to put another coat on it. Show you how ugly it is. Yeah, that's ugly. All right, that's okay. We'll make it better. It's been a while. Okay, I'm gonna try to get some of this tape up in the corner up here. I'm just gonna do one section right here just so you can see. And as you can tell, what I've done is folded the tape down the middle on the crease to give it a 90 degree. And it's going to go right there. So I'm going to put some mud in the place where it needs to go, and we're going to see how this puppy goes. Let's take a look here. Okay, this is what it did look like, and this is what it does look like. Again, this is first coat. It's got to dry, it's got to be sanded, but then we will see what that looks like afterwards. All right. And there we go. Back to where we were. All right, so I'm gonna let that dry. We'll see how it looks tomorrow when it's dry, and then I'll probably do some more videoing after sanding and maybe second coat videos. But for today, that's gonna do it. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you again next time.